What's up, y'all? Kendama back with a Kendama review. Today's review is going to be on the Kendama USA Jet shape. I've had the Jet shape for about a year now. I got it at NACO and September's about to hit. So yeah, I've had this shape for a while. Why I thought right now would be a good time to review it is because a lot of new Jet stuff is releasing with a bunch of new pro models. Things like Mag's pro model and Joe Nelson's pro model, those are both on the Jet shape, and they also have the Jet splices. The first Kendama USA splices ever, and they just happen to be on the Jet shape. This is long overdue, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. This I bought with my own money, so yeah, do with that what you will. My opinion isn't affected by someone giving this to me for free, even though I try to keep things pretty good on my opinion, even if someone does give me something. This one's gonna be really streamlined too, because this is a Ken only thing. I didn't get a full setup, but I don't really think I need to talk about full setups anymore, because the Ken's really what you care about. If you do get a Jet, you're gonna get string packs, you're gonna get stickers, you're gonna get the full Kendama. There's a bunch of different Tama designs. There's half splits, there's stripes, there's rubber paint, there's sticky paint. Some of them have the new sticky paint that all companies are getting. And I also think they're using the new rubber paint that companies are getting. And there's an assortment. I can't go over them all, but the paints are decent from what I've tried. Bevel sizes are basic bevel sizes. They're not extremely huge, but they're also not small. They're good sizes. Getting into choices for wood though, there are a couple different Ken only options. The crafts are the USA made stuff by Kendama USA. Those are really great. I don't have one, but just know that those are gonna play a little bit better because the wood isn't shipping from another country and the wood is just overall better quality. And because it's made here with just a little bit more care, the play is just gonna be overall better on the crafts. Wood options for the Jets, I think there's ash, maple, beech, bamboo, and there might be one other one that I'm missing. I swear if there's a hickory craft one of this, holy crap, that thing is probably really heavy. A lot of different wood options for a lot of different play styles, but this is the one caveat, and this isn't just the Jets thing. This is all Kendamas that are big now. Kendamas with bigger shapes nowadays are just gonna weigh heavier on the woods that you like. So on maple and on beech, they're gonna be in the 80s. I'm sorry, but trying to find a 75 gram Jet is gonna be really hard in any of those two woods. It's gonna be a lot easier in bamboo, but then you're gonna be sacrificing probably taps if you're gonna go the bamboo route, and just feeling if you don't like the feeling of bamboo. That's not innately a bad thing, but it's just less weight options for, you know, the weights you want with the woods that people typically use. Now, let's talk about the Kendama itself. The Jet shape, a very nice shape. This is a very good all-rounder just right off the bat. When it comes to stalls, it has these stepped cups. The stepped cups are really good. There's no real reason to not do them anymore, I feel like, unless you're just trying to be like, you know, traditional, which is also really good, but they do make your stalls that much better. Your wings are gonna be easier, your birds are gonna be a lot easier. That's just how it's gonna be with stepped cups. They are great. They are amazing. Along with the reverse of that, stilts are going to be cool. Any kind of stall is going to be amazing with these stepped cups. Other stall points are great as well. These are actually one of my favorite handle stalls and ring stall points to stall on. I don't know what it is about the design, but it contacting all the points of the bevel on the handle stall, and then I don't know what it is about this thin ring. It wobbles in a good way. You're shifting and you get a lot of leeway in terms of when you drop. Let's say if you're going from handle stall to ring, or if you're just pulling up, there's a lot of leeway when you're balancing that trick. With most handle stalls, there's a cut like this, and then there's the handle stall, right? But the Jet ever so slightly has a taper, so instead of it being like this, it has that. That could also be a part of why the handle stalls in this are really good. A lot of people have been asking me to do this, but can it hook? Kind of. The ring isn't long enough to really do it all the time, but you know, if you were good at Kendama, or if you're good at those, you could probably get it. Obviously, the more you push the cups down, it's gonna lock in better, but it's okay, but it kind of falls off. Although I will say the way the ring is shaped, you're gonna really like the stalls because of how the ring rests during underbirds or axes and stuff like that. When it comes to flipping this Kendama, it is very nice when it comes to the center of balance. This thing is very proportionate. And what I mean by that is that there's no like really big cups that are wide and a really thin base cup or sword. It's very much a chunky shape all around. And that means it's very balanced when you throw it. Juggling on this thing is probably one of the most fun things ever. Ken flips on this thing are very awesome. It doesn't have a bias in its center of gravity when it flips. When you can flip it, it's just all going in the same motion. I don't feel like the cups are leading. I don't feel like the base cup's leading. It feels super balanced. The balance leads to very controlled Ken flips and very controlled flips, very controlled juggles, and a very good job well done by Kendama USA. The only thing to this though, and this is a preference thing, is that this thing is gonna feel really unwieldy if you've played only like very normal shapes. If you're going from like a Soul 1 up to this, it's gonna feel super unwieldy, and you're gonna have to get used to it. And whether or not you get used to it in that time is gonna be, you know, up to your play and all that kind of stuff. If you don't like chunky shapes, maybe this one isn't for you. I definitely think you should give it a chance, but that's just how it is. It is a chunker. It feels fun to juggle, but is a chonker for sure. When it comes to balance, the Jet is very, very balanced. When it comes to lunars, you're flipping all day, and with that center of balance being great, you're flipping and it feels easy. You don't feel like you have to try too hard. When it comes to lighthouses, I don't know, you can't really mess up lighthouses nowadays, at least in my opinion, unless your base cup is shallow, but all of them feel good. The base cup size is pretty big. Like, I really like the base cup size. It's a little bit bigger than a lot of Kendamas. It's a little bit bigger than an amped, and it's a little bit bigger than, let's say, a quad kami. It allows for instas. It really allows for all contact all over the tama on the base cup, so you can feel a lot more in control of your lighthouses. Now, as a really good balanced lunar Kendama, does it do gunslingers? And yes, it does. There is kind of like a weird point when the cups go down a specific point, and this is kind of depending on your finger size, but I wasn't able to sling on it, but like once it kind of settled down to like where I liked it, I was able to do slingers. You can see me slinging a 3. And the test that I've talked about before, where me and Caleb Jeffries talked about what makes a good slinger Kendama, and that is if you can change speeds while you're doing slingers. Right now I have fast, and then I can slow down, and then I can go fast, and then I can slow down. So as you can see, there's a little bit of hesitation there, so it's not perfect. Not a lot of Kendamas are perfect for slingers like that. The slingers are good enough, and if I can whip a 3, that means it's going to be great for a lot of people. Now that I've talked about how the Kendama plays in general, here's what I recommend for competitions. For freestyle, if you do really like the chunkiness of this Kendama and you don't feel like it's unwieldy, 100% do it for freestyle. A lot of the Kendama USA pros do freestyle, and it's, you know, between the Luna and the Jet. I'll talk about the Luna later. They all really like it, and you can do every single trick, like I said, very well. Your stalls are going to lock in well because of the stall points. The flipping that you can do, like there's a bunch of people who spam combos in KUSA, which isn't a bad thing, but their flips are crazy and controlled, and it's because of the way this shape is made. Lighthouses, lunars, all balanced, and it is very good for freestyle. Would I use this like an open or speed ladder? Of course I would. Would I personally use this in like a comp like open or speed ladders or anything like this? Maybe speed ladders. I don't know about open just because of it feels really big in my hand, but for other people might like that, and because it can do every trick really well, if you can get past that feeling of it, you know, feeling kind of big, then definitely use this during open or speed ladders. When it comes to price range of the Jet, I believe it's going to be between like 25-ish to, you know, all the way to the pro models, which is like 50-ish, and then if we get to the collabs, it's going to be 70-ish, and then if we get to crafts, it's going to be between like 50 for a Ken or 60 for a Ken to like, you know, whatever for a complete. Getting a half split Jet, even though it's beach and you might have a problem with beach, this beach is pretty durable. At least mine is really dense, and everyone knows that beach spikes wear down pretty fast, and this one survived a year, at least, you know, for me. Half splits are really good beginner Kendamas, and, you know, good in general, even if you're not a beginner, and this new sticky paint is great. So if you get the new half split with the new sticky paint, you can't go wrong for that setup, whatever price it is. On the lower end, I definitely think you should get those, and those are worth it. And if you don't like beach, get a Ken only that's maple, and, you know, even go on Kendama Depot because they got the weights, you know what I'm saying? This shape is really attainable, is what I'm trying to say, and that is very great. And it's always good when a shape is not get kept by its price. Overall, I really think this is a good Kendama for its price. What is getting more expensive, and with these bigger shapes are gonna get just a tad bit more expensive, so no way you're probably gonna get this for $20 without a sale. That's just the way it is nowadays. You're probably gonna be spending more close to 25 and 30, and that's not a bad thing. Like I said earlier, it's really restricted in weight depending on your wood type, and also just the overall size of it. People tell me it's not a chunky shape, but I promise you this is a very chunky shape. People talk to me about the quad shape and versus this, and they say it's the same. It is not the same. I don't think it's the same. This feels way chunkier than a quad kami for sure. Now that goes to talk about the Luna. I don't personally have a Luna, but I've played a couple Lunas, and it basically is a shape but slimmed down in a couple different places. Makes it honed for lunars and other things. I don't want to say anything absolute about that because I don't have a Luna, and I'd hate to give an opinion of something I don't have. If you don't like chunky shapes in general, maybe delve into that. It's only in craft only right now. If you want to wait for the China ones to come out, you can wait for the China ones. That might be something to look into if you like thinner shapes. A banger by Kendama USA. The progress from, you know, the shapes that they had before to where they're at now, I honestly like it a lot. And I feel like people have slept on KUSA, you know, years before this came out, and now, not that they're climbing the ranks or anything like that, because KUSA is most definitely one of the top Kendama companies, you know, maybe not popularity, but in terms of, you know, spreading Kendama, just because they are Kendama USA. But amazing stuff, and I can't wait to try new product from them, and hopefully I can get my hands on a Luna so I can review that too. If you have a Jet, let me know what you think down below. Let me know if I missed anything. I'm down to have a conversation about your guys' favorite Kendama shapes or your least favorite Kendama shapes. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe button, hit post notifications so you're one of the first to watch these videos when they come out, and obviously sharing this video goes a long way for the channel. This is Kendama, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.